Like, we know about that kind of stuff in the days of Ultima Online. Like, how did you get caught by surprise of this? Right, let's check to see if it says anything about the helicopter. It shouldn't, but let's check. And I'm going to switch to sitting while we wait. We just had a light bulb blow. This one right here. Oh yeah, Lulu Tech, more than likely, when you run to those kind of things, it's almost always, well, let's go ahead and set ourselves up a bunch of microservices that all talk to each other. And then people don't consider the interactions between those microservices and like what permissions and all they get that. And then suddenly it's like, oh, maybe that was a dumb idea to not like take the time to really carefully define what these things are supposed to do. Like, there's nothing wrong with microservice structure where you have a whole bunch of microservices doing stuff, but it's very easy to lose track of what these things should and can be doing and all that. Alright, so let's see if any of our plants are grown. If you're worried about having zombies grab your back there, you could put something down to barricade your back there. Yeah, no, that's not a bad idea, like potentially going. Like, I could certainly see coming over here and going, alright, well, I'm going to put walls in between here, for example. Might not be a bad move. And then maybe a little bit farther. Might be an idea. So I should repair this. I mean, I'm not super worried, I guess, here, because we have been clearing the area, but I just do a lap every time to deal with it. Alright, so let's see. So first of all, I want to grab the electronic parts so that we can repair our generator. Because generally speaking, you don't want your generator to get below like 50%. It's really easy to lose track at that point, and if your generator's repair gets too low, what can actually happen is your generator can catch fire, and you can imagine fire right next to your main base. Probably bad. How long am I going to stream? Generally speaking, I stream for most nights about 11 hours, so we're only about 3.5 hours in. I usually wrap up by 4 a.m. EST, so it's going to be quite a while. Alright, so generator is all repaired. I mean, I am on sabbatical. I do stream pretty late. So generally speaking, people either can't manage to catch the beginning or the end of the stream, one way or the other, which it's fine. I think next we'll go myrtle some fish. Susanna says, day off, it's night for me and I work nights only, so it's lonely. Gotcha. Yeah. Gotcha, and any time. I mentioned a number of times, I do try and make this like a place that whether people need to wind down, they need to relax, like they've had a busy day at work, or their day is like a thought work where, you know, their brain is just totally burned out by the end of the day. Try and just have a place that people can chill, kind of veg. Also a place that people can like learn about whatever games I'm playing, because, you know, if I really know the game, I'll of course sit there and go like, oh, here's this and this and this, like talk through the mechanics, talk through the thought process that goes into stuff. If it's a game I don't know as well, I'll still talk through the thought process and go, here's what I think's going to happen, here's what I think we're going on, that kind of stuff. Where it's like, I don't know what's up, but, you know, trying to make decisions with limited knowledge. Pegwriter says, I also super appreciate your willingness to answer questions, even the same old questions. The audience interaction is excellent. Yeah, and I do, like, that's one thing I knew about streaming well before I started streaming, just from watching streams, that, you know, I joked about, like, there's some streams I watched, like, I like Octavian Zero is a stream I used to watch a whole lot. Like Brittle Knee and a whole bunch of them. And a lot of them, you know, people are like, do you get tired of answering the same questions? And they're like, yeah, you know, I actually get asked that question a lot. You know, do you get tired of answering the same old questions? It's just one of those things that's the nature of streaming. Pancros says, when I have an audience of more than 10 viewers, I would like to be as focused on the audience as you. I try. One thing a lot of people lose track of, whether it's they're streaming, they're YouTubing, they're giving conference talks, you know, they're talking to some kind of audience, is that ultimately the audience is what matters. Like, at the end of the day, it's why you're there. If you're not entertaining the audience, if you're not engaging the audience, like, what are you doing? Like, what value am I providing my audience? Why should they come see what I'm doing? And a lot of people, like, just lose track of that kind of stuff. Hey, Mr. Lamprey, how's it going? And speaking of which, I'm just going to sit here and go, give a shout out to Mr. Lamprey, unprompted when he's least expecting it. Just because Mr. Lamprey does, well, I mean, one, it's a fantastic stream, but also Mr. Lamprey does have very similar content to my own. The specifics are different, like I do max pop, no respawns with multiple helicopters. Mr. Lamprey, on the other hand, has insane pop with respawns, but Mr. Lamprey has a goal going on right now for he's going to do a 10-year run and kill 1 million zombies, whereas in my run, I'm doing, you know, no real time allotment, but the goal is to kill all the zombies on the map, you know, ignoring ones hiding in the trees. And we expect that to be around 1.2 million, so kind of both of us are going for like 1 million something zombies, but with very, very different game settings. Oh yeah, and we also have very different methods. And one thing that has been funny, Mr. Lamprey, is I've been actually leaning more and more on the hunting knives lately. Part of that is I was talking with Royale with Cheese, and, you know, we were discussing, like, how much or how little, like, the mods influence my gameplay. I'm like, you know what? I want to know how much that is. So I've actually, like, the mods are still installed, but I've got them all, like, hidden so far as my minimal display bars and all that. I've noticed minor things, but other than, like, the drowsy thing, I still feel like it has been huge. My wife says I have to show off my mug. My wife was like, merchandise. And let's see. And Lulu says, I think more educational your content get, the more you should be prepared to get asked the question. Oh yeah, absolutely. So there is a section in the bottom of the About that has merch. I actually have never had anyone buy merch other than me. And I got it mostly because I'm like, okay, well, I want to make sure the merch is actually like not like crap quality, because it's not like I can go and just check it out. So far, because I had ordered a couple of the coffee mugs, and I had ordered there's some shirts. I have not gotten the shirts yet, so I can't tell you how good or bad they are yet. When I do, if they're crap, I'll unlist them. But if they aren't crap, like I'll say, yeah, they're good. The way to look at all the merch, the prices that are all there is I get $5 out of anything you buy there. I get $5. So like think of it, it's like you're donating $5 a channel, and all the rest is like buying the thing from the manufacturer. And I'm sure some overhead on top that I have no control over. What's the deal you are getting for the merch store? Setup or operating fee? I believe they ship, I think, just about everywhere. I have heard from the only person I've seen look at the merch store who lived in New Zealand. They said the shipping prices to New Zealand were pretty astronomical, which I would believe. So I couldn't tell you what the shipping is for different locations because I haven't checked. But the merch store just goes through like Streamlabs and all that. The only like the finances behind it is they do sales of merch for just about any streamer who wants. You just have to set it up. But it is like $5. Like you can adjust how much money you get per item, like on each individual item. And they're like recommended as $5, so I just left it alone. But yeah, that's basically how the money works is they have their manufacturing costs. I'm sure Streamlabs takes a cut of the cost themselves, because why would they sell it if they didn't? And then there's $5 on top. Zomboid says, as in, do you have to pay a few to have merch in store? No, I pay nothing. Like, all I have to do is go in and say, here's the image I want. I want to put it on this, and I can like edit it, like decide where the image. So like, they don't have. I have both right and left-handed coffee mugs that I put on there. They don't have the setup for doing that. I actually went in and manually said, all right, put the image on this side for right-handed, put the image on this side for left-handed, because with the coffee mug, the image is supposed to hold, face the person holding the mug. So like I do all that, but there's no fee or anything they do with that. It's when someone buys the mug or the stickers or the magnet or the shirt or whatever crap it is. I say crap, whatever the thing is. They have a price that they charge, and then I can put a few dollars on top of that, and then I get those few dollars. So they're already making, I don't know, $2, $3, $4, $5 from that initial manufacturer price. Like, and I have no idea what percent of that they're making. Like, they don't share that information. At least not that I've been able to find. And hey, Rockbeard. Absolutely. And I'm glad to help, and I do hope you have a good alert. Oh yeah, I'm sure it's not bad. Because even if they're only making $1 or $2, which I'm sure it's more than $1 or $2, I wouldn't be surprised they're making just as much as I am per unit or whatever. PoE30, welcome to the stream. Or Po30, I'm not sure which way you want it said, but welcome to the stream, just let me know. But yeah, it's like, and that's the thing. They don't care if you're affiliate. They don't care what you are so far as like your stream. So if you have like 5 or 6 dedicated followers who are really interested, you could potentially make money on merch. I just put it there because I'm like, I know people like it, so I'm going to put it up. It's the same thing, the reason I put like the donation, but I'm like, I have no idea if anyone will ever use it. If they don't, it doesn't hurt me. And if they do, great. And with like all the merch, I never put on any of them like, Raw Storage or, twitch.tv/Raw Storage. It's just imagery. I can't imagine there's actually like effective marketing walking around with like a shirt with like the WoW emote on it and then like the URL. I can't imagine, like, that's got to be single digit people who actually go, I just saw a person wearing this neat shirt and I'm going to go to the website. That's got to be like single digit people. So I'd rather, and also I don't like personally buying shirts that have that kind of crap on it. Like I don't like the shirt that's in big letters. It's like Elite Dangerous or Stream or Steam or Valve or whatever. Like, it's okay if it has something that if you're aware of the product, it's like, oh yeah, that's the weapon from Borderlands. Cool. I don't need to say Borderlands in big letters on my shirt somewhere. Like, you're either in the I know crowd or you're not. But yeah. Mr. Lamprey's like, gonna walk around with my raw mug and just to flex on peasants. So there is I have one of my emotes that it's called Prim. That's for people who do like the tier 3 sub. And it's like, you know, the little raw character having like a monocle and like sipping from a coffee or sipping from like a teacup or whatever. So you can be like, you can have a Prim mug. Oh yeah, Rockford. And I'm the same way. Like, I've had shirts that I like. I'm like, I like this shirt, but you lose me on the back because like the whole back is just big letters what it is. Or even worse, it'll have like a good like design in the back. And you'll get the front, it'll be like the company name and big letters right there in the chest piece. I'm like, stop it. No. I'm giving you money for this. I'm not giving you money to advertise for you. I'm either giving you money for your merchandise or to advertise for you. Like, you're not getting money and advertising. You're getting one or the other. And like I said, I also, and this could be me being naive, I just can't imagine that's an effective way of marketing. I'm not a Formula 1 race car. I mean, the thing though is, those are sponsors. Like, if someone was like, hey, I'll give you $10,000 if you put your logo here, I'd be like, so how big is this logo? We're talking like this big, like this big, like let's talk details here. No, I wouldn't be against sponsorship. I mean, obviously, if someone's offering money, I'm going to at least listen to them. We woke up having a nightmare, as you do. And there's an easy solution to this. I actually am out of sleeping pills. Correction, in a moment there'll be an easy solution to this problem when you wake up having a nightmare. I can't imagine why we've had a nightmare after almost 42,000 zombie kills. Ruben says, hey, Raul, did I tell you about what happened to our trash can back on Wednesday? No, I have no idea what you're talking about. And I'll just take one of these here sleeping pills. But no, it's for me to have like a sponsor, one, I would have to agree with whatever your product is or whatever. And that the terms would have to be reasonable. So like, for example, if Pretzel was like, hey, we just want to sponsor a stream for you, I'd say absolutely, I think you have a great product. I've been using it for ages. Sure, let's do a sponsorship. You know, I get to say nice or mean things, whatever. Like if, for example, Relogic was to come and say, hey, you know, I want to sponsor a Logitech. Sure, I'm using a Logitech mouse right now. Sure, if you want to sponsor, absolutely. You know, I will still be honest about your product. If you ask me not to, I won't do it. Have I ever heard of Raid Shadow Legends or NordVPN? Raid Shadow Legends, I would absolutely not touch. I'd have to look into NordVPN because I know nothing about it. Even though I've heard so many advertisements, I still know nothing about it. For Raid, like, anything that's microtransaction-y heavy, I would not do a sponsorship for. I shouldn't say would not do a sponsorship, I probably would not do a sponsorship for. Certainly, if they were like, hey, look, man, we'll give you $10 million, I'm like, okay. I have my values and all that. I can let those slide for $10 million. Because then I am set, period, that from then on I can be not morally compromising. Because I'll never have to worry about money. I mean, shouldn't have to worry about money again. Fenrir says, this stream brought to you by Squarespace's sister gig, Circle Area. What does microtransaction heavy mean? So games that, you know, you buy, or it can be free to play, but games that really to play the game, you have to keep sitting there going and spend $2 and spend $5 and spend $10 and spend $5. Like, you're constantly doing all these like little things that you have to spend money on. So games that have like loot boxes can be very microtransaction heavy. You know, you have to buy the keys to open the loot box. The gacha games where you have to like buy your little deck of cards to get more characters, that kind of stuff. Those to me are microtransaction heavy. Any game that you could describe as pay to win would be considered microtransaction heavy. So, for example, if Path of Exile, so GGG approached me and said, hey, we would like to sponsor a stream on yours. I don't know why they would. They've got plenty of better people to do it. But if they were to approach me, for example, okay, they have microtransactions, but realistically, to play Path of Exile, 99% of it's cosmetic, and then you've got your loot tabs. So I consider Path of Exile free, but realistically, you're going to play it for a long time. It's about $20. But then you don't have a need to constantly be purchasing more and more crap just to play the game. Whereas, like, these gacha games, just to continue playing the game, you either have to engage in some ridiculous amount of effort, or you fork out cash. So I wouldn't, like, a game like that gacha game, there was no way I would touch, versus Path of Exile, it's like, that's okay. Or, like, Warframe would be one I'm okay with. Like, there is things that draw money out of you, but it's not too bad. Anyways, I'm going to do my push-ups real fast, and I'll be right back. I'm going to cringe, aren't I? Gonna die just a little inside. Which is the appropriate mount for a musician. That checks out. Hey, Lizard Prime, how's it going? Lots of mod in bed, I see. Lots of mod in bed. Lots of mod in bed? Oh no, if you're talking about all the katanas, no mods. That is just what happens when you kill almost 42,000 zombies. You get a lot of stuff. Ah. Okay, well. Oh, right. Mods have a sword. I gotcha. Excellent. I have caught up to the joke. Whoever says, I must ask, if I set a time to die from Zomboid virus to 2 weeks, does that mean it also takes longer to see symptoms? I believe so. Because it is the symptoms gradually escalating to the point of fever that ultimately kills you. The fever itself is the mechanic that kills you. Once you go up here and you see the fever moodle, whether it's from food poisoning or from zombification or from just standing over bodies too long or any of those things, I'm basically waiting to see what the radio says. That's when you die, is because when you get fever, your life just starts to drain rapidly. Yep, I am a serial killer with 4 doctorates. 2 medical doctorates and 2 surgery doctorates. Oh, come on. Darkshire says, how many dads does it take to screw in a light bulb? 1 to get the ladder, 1 to get the light bulb, 1 to say uh-huh, and 1 to screw in the light bulb, and the rest debate gas or grill as a good way of cooked steaks. Yeah, checks out. Alright, so I am missing, is it the expert farming book? Do I not have it? Come on. Master farming, that's the one I want. Because I've got food that I'm going to eat real fast because I got the munch. And so I'm going to make my camera go away. In the meanwhile, I'm going to start this reading. So this is a good time, if you haven't gone up in a good long while, this is a good time to stand up, stretch your legs, grab yourself something to eat, have something to drink, use the restroom, whatever you got to do. It's a good time to do it because we're going to be chilling here, listening to the torrential storm outside, while I have myself a little bit of an eat. So there's not some like clever inner meaning or anything like that. All right, and my hope is that we'll have good weather tomorrow and be able to keep going. I also did see my artist did, basically say, are these final versions of the emotes good? So awesome. Roar, you said is actually a Norwegian male name. I'm not sure if I mispronounced that right.